The planet was quiet. Too quiet. Smoke curled from the ruins of buildings that had long ago lost their purpose. Broken towers leaned like tired soldiers, and the streets were empty, except for one small, frail figure moving carefully among the wreckage. The alien was thin, almost skeletal, its pale green skin stretched tightly over its bones. Its eyes, large and glimmering, scanned the broken city with desperation. Every step it took was slow and cautious. Hunger gnawed at its stomach, and each breath was shallow, as if even the air carried weight. It was alone. No sounds of life reached it, only the soft hiss of wind through shattered walls and the occasional tumble of debris. It stopped suddenly. In the distance, among the gray and dusty sky, a glimmer appeared. The alien squinted, unsure if it was real or a trick of its starving mind. A small ship, sleek and shining, descended silently from the clouds. Unlike the jagged wrecks scattered across the planet, the ship looked alive, smooth, calm, and almost serene. The alien froze. Its heart raced in its chest. Fear pulsed through its body. Ships like these didn't come to its planet. Not for centuries. Usually, when outsiders came, it was only for conquest, for taking what little the survivors had left. But there was something different about this one. It didn't roar. It didn't drop weapons. It hovered with an almost gentle grace, landing carefully on the cracked ground. Smoke rose from the landing pads, but the ship itself was unharmed, untouched by the chaos of the city. The alien's eyes widened, not just in fear but in something else, hope. Could this be help? Could this strange craft, from a race it had only heard stories about, be different? Stories said humans were kind, sometimes even merciful. But stories didn't fill stomachs or protect the weak. Stories were often lies told to make the hopeless dream. It shook its head and tried to push the thought away. Hunger made its legs weak. Fear made its heart pound. And yet, curiosity nudged it forward. Slowly, it crept closer, careful to stay in the shadows of the ruined buildings. The ship's hatch opened with a soft hiss. Humans stepped out. Their bodies were covered in light armor, simple but practical, not designed to intimidate. They carried no obvious weapons. Their eyes scanned the ruins, alert but calm, like they were searching for something, or someone. The alien froze entirely. Its knees bent and it fell forward, landing on the dusty ground. Dust clung to its thin skin, but it did not care. It was too afraid to move, too hungry to hide. Every instinct screamed to run, to escape this unknown force. Yet every bit of hope whispered to stay to see what these humans would do. One of the humans knelt, holding out a small container filled with liquid. The alien had never seen anything like it, warm, glowing faintly in the dim light, a strange but comforting scent rising from it. It hesitated, its large eyes locked on the human's face. There was no aggression there. Only calm. Only patience. The alien inched forward, trembling. Each step was careful, almost a plea. When it finally reached the human, it dropped to its knees fully, head bowed, and let out a quiet, broken sound, almost a whisper, almost a sob. Hunger, fear, and relief collided in one fragile moment. The human offered the liquid. The alien's hands shook violently as it took the container, lifting it with reverence. It drank slowly, savoring each drop as though it were the first water it had tasted in 1,000 days. Tears filled its eyes, blurring the destruction around it. The ruins, the smoke, the endless gray of the city, none of it mattered now. For a moment the alien simply knelt there, trembling, drinking, staring. Its mind raced with disbelief. Why are they helping me? Who are these beings that come not to conquer, but to care? The human said nothing, only observed with a quiet patience. Their calmness was like a shield, like an unspoken promise. You are safe here. But the alien knew the world was not safe. Danger still lurked in the shadows. The sky could fill with enemy ships at any moment. Other aliens, other forces would not forgive weakness. Its heart ached, but it knew the truth. It could not survive alone. Finally, with a shaky breath, the alien lifted its head and looked at the humans. Fear and hope battled in its eyes. The ruins behind it were a lifetime of loss. The empty streets were a reminder of death. And yet, before these strangers, it felt something it had not felt in years: trust. It took a small, tentative step forward. Then another. Its knees scraped against the dusty ground. Its body was trembling, weak from hunger and despair, but it did not stop. Slowly, it approached the humans fully, head bowed, hands slightly raised in a gesture of submission and gratitude. The audience can feel the tension. Will this fragile creature be safe? Can these humans be trusted? The silence of the ruined city holds its breath, waiting for the next move. And as the alien steps closer, Every nerve in its body tells it. The world has changed, even if only for this single desperate moment. And in that quiet, ruined city, the unexpected has begun. The alien's knees pressed into the dusty ground, trembling. Its large, round eyes stared at the humans. For a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. The ruined city around them, broken buildings, shattered streets, and curling smoke, faded from its mind. All that mattered now were the beings standing before it. One human stepped forward. Their movements were calm, deliberate, careful. They didn't carry weapons in a threatening way. They didn't shout or make sudden movements. They simply reached out a hand, holding a small container filled with something warm and glowing. The alien had never seen anything like it. Its instincts screamed caution, yet its body was too weak to move away. Hunger and exhaustion had made it fragile, defenseless. The alien's lips trembled as it tried to speak. Only broken sounds emerged, a soft, almost incomprehensible whisper. "Why, you help." It blinked rapidly, unsure if it was safe to trust these strangers. The human knelt closer, tilting their head in understanding. No words came from them. Instead, they extended the container slowly, letting the alien decide for itself. The alien hesitated. Its hands hovered above the gift, shaking uncontrollably. Every instinct it had screamed that danger could be anywhere. Predators, enemies, scavengers, all of them could be hiding in the shadows. Yet here, before this small group of humans, it saw calmness, patience, and care. Finally, driven by hunger, exhaustion, and an unexplainable hope, the alien reached forward. Its thin hands grasped the container, lifting it with reverence. The liquid inside was warm, comforting, almost magical. It drank slowly, savoring every drop as though it were life itself. Tears welled in its eyes, streaming down pale cheeks. The alien's body shook, not just from hunger but from the flood of emotions it had not felt in years: relief, gratitude, and a fragile, cautious trust. The humans watched silently. Their faces showed no fear, no impatience. They simply waited, letting the alien drink in peace. One of them finally spoke in soft, careful tones. "Take your time. You're safe here." The alien's eyes widened. Safe? That word felt strange. It had not heard it in decades. Its planet had been torn apart by war and cruelty. Strangers rarely offered kindness. They took, destroyed, or ignored. And yet, here were these humans offering not weapons or orders but safety. After a moment, the alien lowered the container and looked at them. Its breathing was shaky. Weak fingers wiped at its tears. The humans nodded gently, silently encouraging it. The alien tried to speak again, still broken, still uncertain. No food, no water, only." The human crouched slightly, tilting their head. "You're not alone anymore. We'll help you." The alien blinked. It wanted to ask questions to understand. Who were these beings? Why did they care? But its voice failed. Words felt heavy and useless. Instead, it simply nodded, trembling, and tried to stand. Its legs wobbled. Every step was uncertain. Humans stayed close, guiding it carefully, keeping it upright without making it feel weak or helpless. Suddenly, a sound echoed from the ruins, a distant crash, a faint rumble that made the alien freeze. Its ears twitched. Danger. Always danger. It looked at the humans, expecting panic or aggression. But the humans' eyes remained calm. They scanned the ruins around them, quiet but alert, as if they could feel the threat without words. The alien's heart raced. How can they be so calm? Fear and curiosity battled inside it. These beings were unlike any it had encountered. They were human, fragile, small, yet something about them radiated strength. Not just strength of arms or weapons, but strength of will, of character. Strength that made the alien feel safe. The humans led the alien a short distance to a safer part of the city, a building that had survived the destruction with walls still mostly intact. The alien's gaze darted around constantly, alert to shadows and movement. The humans moved slowly, deliberately, shielding it without making it feel imprisoned. Every step they took showed care, patience, and precision. Finally, they stopped. The alien collapsed onto the ground again, exhausted from hunger, fear, and the weight of the world it had carried alone. One human knelt beside it, holding a simple cloth to wipe its tears and dirt. "You're safe," they repeated. "We won't let anything hurt you." The alien trembled. It wanted to believe them, wanted to accept this strange mercy, but decades of pain made trust difficult. Slowly, hesitantly, it lifted its head. It looked at the humans with a mix of awe, fear, and gratitude. Its mind raced. Who were these beings that could be so calm in the face of ruin, so gentle in a world that had been cruel? Then, without warning, the alien sensed movement from above. the sky shifted slightly. Something was coming. Something big. Its instinct screamed that danger had not left. But when it looked at the humans, they simply nodded at each other, calm, focused. The alien swallowed hard. They're not afraid, it realized. Then maybe I can trust them. And as the strange ships approached the horizon, the alien remained on its knees, trembling, heart pounding, unsure if salvation or doom had arrived. The humans stood quietly ready. The alien watched them, trying to understand how these small beings could be so powerful, yet so gentle. The city was silent again. But this time there was hope amidst the ruins. And the alien knew somehow that its life was about to change forever. The alien sat in the small, partly intact building, its knees tucked beneath its thin frame. Its breathing was heavy, uneven, a mix of exhaustion, fear, and something new, curiosity. The humans had given it food and water, guided it to safety, and yet, there was a silence that pressed on the alien's mind. They had not asked questions, not pried. They had simply waited as though they understood without words. After a long moment, the alien's large eyes flicked to the humans. It seemed almost unable to speak at first. Then, in a shaky, broken voice, it began to tell its story. My planet, destroyed by war, it whispered. People, gone. Family, gone. Only one left. Tears welled in its eyes. Its thin arms trembled as it gestured to the ruined city outside, the broken streets, the smoking buildings. Everything gone, all dead. I alone. The humans listened quietly, their faces calm but their eyes alert. They did not interrupt. They simply allowed the alien to speak, nodding occasionally, silently acknowledging each word. The alien swallowed hard and continued. Others, hunt me, they want, take me, take knowledge, take life. Its voice grew faint at the last words, almost fading into a whisper. I hide, but cannot anymore. A chill ran through the alien's body. Memories of fleeing, of hiding, of running through the ruined cities, surfaced in its mind. The human's presence was comforting, yet the fear of pursuit was constant. Every shadow, every distant rumble, reminded it of what could happen if it was caught. One human stepped closer, crouching to meet its gaze. We're here to help you, they said softly. We will protect you. But you must tell us everything. Who hunts you? Why? The alien hesitated. Trust was not easy. Decades of fear had taught it to doubt. But as it looked into the human's calm, patient eyes, it felt a strange pull, something it hadn't felt in a long time. It nodded slowly and began to reveal more. They, from another world, stronger, faster, cruel. Took home, took friends, everything, left nothing. Only survivor, running, hiding, always running. Its voice cracked. The alien lowered its head and covered its face with its trembling hands. I cannot fight alone. The humans exchanged a quick, subtle glance. Their silence was deliberate, but their posture and movements were ready, prepared. The alien noticed the change, the quiet confidence, but could not understand it. Outside, the wind howled through the broken buildings, carrying with it a faint metallic echo, distant but unnerving. The alien's ears twitched. It flinched. Danger was near. Always near. The human closest to the alien spoke again. You're not alone anymore. Whatever comes, we face it together. You can trust us. The alien's eyes widened. The words felt strange, almost unreal. Trust? After everything, after so many betrayals and losses, trust was a dangerous feeling. But somehow this time it felt different. These humans were not like the others it had known. Their calmness, their patience, the way they moved and spoke, it was almost as if they carried a quiet power that could shield even the weakest. A sudden sound echoed from above, faint at first, then louder. The alien froze, ears pricked, eyes scanning the broken ceiling and outside the shattered walls. A shadow passed over the moonlight that spilled through the cracks. Something was approaching. Its heart pounded and panic rose, but the humans remained calm. One raised a hand, signaling silence, and motioned for the alien to stay down. The alien trembled, eyes wide with fear. They, coming now? It whispered, voice quivering. Yes, the human replied softly, their tone steady. But do not be afraid. We know what to do. The alien blinked, trying to comprehend. How could these small, fragile-looking beings possess such confidence? Such control? Its mind raced, mixing fear and awe, curiosity and desperation. For the first time in years, it felt a strange hope. I cannot fight, the alien murmured, voice barely audible. You don't have to, the human replied. We will fight, and you will live. Outside, the faint rumble grew louder. The alien's instinct screamed to run, to hide, but the human's calmness anchored it. Somehow their presence made it feel stronger, braver, even safe. It took a shaky breath and nodded. The alien's story continued, broken and halting, but each word strengthened the bond between it and the humans. They did not pity it nor did they judge. They simply listened, prepared for whatever was coming. And as the shadow in the sky drew closer, the alien realized something incredible. It was no longer alone. For the first time in decades, it felt the possibility of hope. The humans glanced at each other, a silent understanding passing between them. The alien noticed it, this quiet communication, this readiness. Whatever approached, they were ready. And the alien, kneeling in the ruins of its home, whispered a prayer it had not spoken in years. Thank you, for staying, for helping, for being human. Outside, the air shimmered slightly. Something was coming closer. The alien's ears twitched. Fear rose again, but the human's calmness held it steady. For the first time, the alien dared to believe that maybe, just maybe, it could survive this night. And in that quiet, fragile moment, a plan began to form. One that could change the fate of the alien and perhaps even the galaxy. Night fell over the ruined city, and the wind whispered through the shattered towers. Shadows stretched long across the cracked streets, and the alien shivered, knees pressed into the dusty ground. Its large eyes darted constantly, scanning every movement, every flicker of light. Danger was near. It could feel it in the air, in the tremble of the ground beneath it, in the faint hum above. The humans remained calm. One knelt beside the alien, placing a steady hand on its trembling shoulder. Stay close, the human whispered. We will handle this. The alien wanted to believe them. It wanted to trust, but instinct screamed otherwise. Its whole life had been a lesson in fear, betrayal, and loss. Yet these humans, small, ordinary-looking, fragile, carried a strange aura. Calmness, strength, assurance. It did not understand how, but the human's presence anchored it. Suddenly, the faint hum above grew louder. The alien's eyes widened. Shadows shifted in the sky, forming shapes the alien recognized instantly. Ships. Not human ships. Dark, angular, fast-moving. The hunter ships. They were here. Panic surged in the alien's chest. Its mind raced. I must hide. I must run. I cannot fight. But before it could move, one of the humans stood slowly, hands raised slightly, not in threat, but in readiness. Do not be afraid, the human said, voice steady and clear. We know what to do. The alien's legs wobbled. Know what to do? How could they know? These ships had terrorized entire planets. They were merciless. But the humans remained calm. Their eyes scanned the sky, fingers moving in small gestures as if directing invisible forces. From above, the enemy ships circled. Their engines glowed faintly, scanning for movement. The alien's ears twitched. Every instinct screamed danger. Shadows flickered across the walls. The alien wanted to curl up, to hide, but the human's presence kept it rooted in place. One human whispered to another, and the alien could not understand the words, but it felt the intention. They were planning, coordinating. Quietly, efficiently. The alien watched in awe as the humans moved, setting small devices along the ruins, pointing small beams of light at certain spots, and then stepping back with patience and precision. The alien's fear mingled with confusion. How can they fight without fighting? How can they be so calm? Then the first enemy ship dropped closer, scanning the city. Its sensors swept the streets, searching for the alien. Panic surged again. The alien tried to move, to flee, but one human gently placed a hand on its arm. Stay, the human said softly. You are safe here. The alien's heart raced. Safe? How can I be safe? It glanced at the other humans. They did not flinch. Their eyes were sharp, focused. The alien could feel their confidence radiating outward, pushing against the fear that gripped it. A beam of light from one of the enemy ships swept the ground. Dust rose, swirling around the alien. Its knees pressed into the dirt. It trembled. But the humans did not move in panic. One raised a small device, simple, almost unassuming, and a bright pulse shot from it into the sky. The enemy ship wavered, shifted its course slightly, and then hovered. The alien gasped. What just happened? The humans moved like shadows, silently, efficiently, keeping the alien protected. Each movement was deliberate, each gesture precise. The alien could only watch, amazed as the enemy ship struggled to adjust, clearly confused by humans' tactics. They were not fighting recklessly, not charging blindly. They were controlling the battlefield with quiet skill and intelligence that the alien had never imagined. Its knees dug into the dirt. Fear and awe battled in its chest. The humans were ordinary by appearance, fragile by form, yet they moved like masters of war. The alien's mind struggled to comprehend how beings so small could be so powerful, so calm, so capable. The enemy ships grew louder, closer. Their engines cast shadows over the ruined buildings, and the alien felt the weight of danger pressing down. But the humans remained steadfast. One looked at the alien and nodded slightly, almost reassuringly. The alien's lips trembled. I cannot fight, it whispered. You don't have to, the human replied. We will fight, and you will survive. The alien swallowed hard. Its knees pressed into the dusty ground. It felt fear, but the human's calm presence kept it from running. For the first time in years it felt something new, hope. Suddenly the enemy ships shifted formation. The alien felt its pulse quicken, anticipating the attack. But the humans were ready. Devices pulsed, lights flashed, and the ships wavered. Slowly, one by one, they began to retreat, unable to predict the human strategy, unable to overcome the quiet intelligence and calm patience of these strange beings. The alien's eyes widened. Tears filled them again. These humans, they are not ordinary. The night grew still again. Shadows retreated, the wind whispered softly through the ruins, and the alien finally allowed itself to breathe. It had survived. It had not moved a single weapon, had not given orders, had not acted with strength, and yet the enemy had retreated. The humans looked at the alien, calm and gentle. It's over, for now, one said softly. The alien nodded, trembling. It did not understand fully what had happened, but it knew one thing: its life had changed forever. For the first time, it felt the strange, overwhelming sense that the galaxy might be different because of these humans. It looked at them, kneeling in the ruins, small, fragile, yet so powerful in ways it could barely comprehend. And in that moment, it whispered silently, a prayer it had not spoken in years: "Thank you, for staying, for protecting, for being human." Outside the ruins were quiet. The stars above glimmered. But the alien knew that danger was never far. And yet, for the first time, it also knew that humanity could face it, and maybe even win. Dawn had not yet broken, but the sky was beginning to lighten over the ruined city. Shadows clung to the broken towers and cracked streets, but the alien's fear had not vanished. It still trembled, kneeling in the dust, watching the humans prepare quietly. The enemy ships had not completely retreated. They circled the planet, waiting, calculating, searching for any sign of weakness. The alien's large eyes followed their every movement. Its stomach tightened with fear. Coming back," it whispered, voice trembling. One of the humans glanced at it. "Stay down," the human said calmly. "Watch carefully. You will see why humans are different." The alien blinked, confused. Different? It had already seen their courage, their calmness. How much more powerful could they be? Suddenly, one of the humans raised a small device, almost like a tablet but glowing faintly. The alien did not understand. It could see lights moving on the device, faint lines and dots forming a pattern across the city. The human tapped and swiped with precision, and then, quietly, several drones lifted from their packs, hovering silently above the ground. The alien's eyes widened. They are fighting without fighting. It could not understand how these fragile beings controlled the battlefield with such skill. The first enemy ship swooped low, scanning the ruins. It spotted one of the drones and fired, but the drone moved instantly, weaving and dodging with impossible speed. Another human tapped the device again and a soft pulse shot from it. The enemy ship shuddered, systems flickering, forced to retreat. The alien gasped. How can they do this? More drones rose, moving in synchronized patterns. Each human controlled several at once, guiding them with invisible precision. The alien watched in awe as enemy ships tried to respond, but every move they made was countered. The humans did not fight recklessly. They anticipated, adapted, and struck with minimal force but maximum effect. One human stepped closer to the alien, crouching to explain. "They are strong, but we are clever. Strength is not only in weapons, it's in thinking, planning, and staying calm." The alien blinked. For decades, it had seen civilizations fall to sheer force. Power was usually measured in weapons, numbers, and destruction. Yet here, these humans, small and seemingly fragile, were holding the enemy at bay without chaos, without shouting, without fear. The alien felt a strange emotion rising in its chest. Awe, disbelief, and hope. Could beings like these truly exist in the galaxy? Could they really be as powerful as the legend suggested? Suddenly, a group of enemy ships broke formation and dove toward the humans. The alien froze, expecting disaster. But the humans did not panic. Instead, they tapped and gestured with calm precision. Drones rose, lights flashed, and a soft hum filled the air. The enemy ships faltered, their engines misfiring, then veered off course, retreating in confusion. The alien gasped again. Tears welled in its large eyes. They are amazing. Its knees pressed into the dust as it realized something it had not dared to hope for in years. These humans, small and fragile, were capable of incredible power. Not the power of destruction but the power of protection, strategy, and intelligence. The alien looked up at the humans. They were calm, composed, almost serene, but the alien could feel their strength radiating outward. It shivered, not from fear but from awe. For the first time in decades, it did not feel completely helpless. One human approached and knelt beside it. "You see," they said softly, "we fight in ways others cannot imagine. You are safe now. And we will not let them take you." The alien's voice trembled as it whispered, I have never seen beings like you, never." The humans smiled gently. "There are more like us," they said. "We do what we must. Not for power, not for glory, but for life. For those who cannot fight for themselves." The alien's tears fell freely now, streaming down pale cheeks. Its knees pressed into the dirt, but its heart felt lighter than it had in decades. Hope, trust, and admiration filled it. For the first time, it dared to believe that perhaps the galaxy could be different. That perhaps humans were truly extraordinary, not because of what they could destroy but because of what they could protect. The enemy ships were retreating slowly, confused, hesitant. They had expected an easy target, a weak alien alone in the ruins. Instead, they found humans who fought without fear, without rage, without recklessness. They found beings who were not just warriors but thinkers, protectors, and guardians. The alien lifted its head slowly, looking at the humans with eyes wide, filled with tears and awe. It whispered, Your kind is more than I imagined. Saved me, saved hope." The humans said nothing, simply standing back, calm and patient. The alien understood then that this was not the end. But for this moment they had survived. For this moment hope existed. The alien finally breathed deeply. Fear still lingered, but it was tempered now with awe and trust. It had seen the power of humans, not in destruction, not in dominance, but in courage, intelligence, and compassion. And as the enemy ships disappeared over the horizon, the alien knew one thing for certain. The galaxy would never forget this night, and it would never forget the humans who had shown it the true meaning of power. The alien knelt in the ruins of the once great city, dust and debris clinging to its thin, trembling body. Its large, tear-filled eyes stared at the humans who had saved it. For the first time in decades, it felt completely safe. The enemy ships were gone, scattered by the humans' quiet but incredible power. The night was calm, yet the alien's heart raced with emotion. It had never experienced anything like this. Other beings it had known were cruel, selfish, and violent. They had taken, destroyed, and left nothing behind. And yet these humans, small, fragile in appearance, had saved it with patience, strategy, and compassion. The alien's chest felt tight with gratitude, its mind unable to find the right words. Slowly the alien lowered its head to the ground, pressing its knees into the dust. Its hands trembled as it reached out toward the humans, not in fear but in deep respect. Its voice came out as a broken whisper, full of awe and emotion. I do not know how to thank you." The humans knelt beside it, their calm expressions encouraging. One placed a gentle hand on its shoulder, not demanding, not controlling, simply offering reassurance. The alien looked up at them, eyes wide and glistening. Its thin lips trembled and then, without warning, it dropped fully to its knees, bowing its head in complete reverence. Tears ran freely down its pale cheeks. Your kind is more than I imagined," it whispered, voice breaking. "You saved me, you saved hope. You are humanity, and I will never forget." The humans remained still, calm, letting the alien express what it had held in its heart for so long. Words were unnecessary, their presence alone spoke of strength, patience, and compassion. Outside, the ruined city remained quiet, but the alien felt the weight of the universe pressing upon it. For decades, it had fled from war, destruction, and cruelty. Every step it had taken had been one of survival, every breath a struggle. Yet now, kneeling before these humans, it understood something it had not dared to hope for. There were beings in the galaxy capable of true goodness, beings who could protect the weak and inspire awe, not through fear but through courage, intelligence, and care. The alien lifted its head slightly, looking at the humans with eyes wide and glistening. I will tell everyone, my people, about you, about humans, about what You did. One human nodded gently. Then your story will live, they said softly. And maybe others will learn what it means to protect, to care, and to act with courage without hatred. The alien's knees pressed harder into the dust, not from fear but from reverence. It had seen many worlds, many beings, and yet nothing had prepared it for this. The human's actions had changed its life, and perhaps the life of the galaxy itself. As the first light of dawn touched the ruined buildings, the alien stood slowly. Its legs trembled, but its spirit felt stronger than it had in years. It turned toward the humans, bowing once more, fully acknowledging their sacrifice and their power. You have given me life, given me hope, given everything, it whispered. I will remember, forever. The humans smiled quietly. Their strength was not in words, but in presence, in patience, in the calm mastery of impossible situations. The alien's mind raced, realizing that it had witnessed something extraordinary, not a battle of destruction, but a demonstration of humanity at its finest. Suddenly, a faint signal flickered in the sky, distant ships in orbit scanning the city. The alien froze, fear returning, but the humans remained calm. One gestured toward the alien, reassuring it silently. They would protect it again if needed. The alien understood now. Humans were more than survivalists or warriors. They were protectors, thinkers, and guardians. They fought not for glory, not for conquest, but for life itself, for the weak, for the helpless, for the hope of others. The alien's tears dried slowly, leaving a look of awe and determination on its face. It took a deep breath and looked to the horizon, where stars shimmered over the ruins of its home. I will tell the galaxy, about you, about humanity, and about hope. And in that quiet, fragile moment, kneeling in the ruins, the alien realized that this encounter, this act of courage, care, and intelligence, had changed it forever. It had seen the true power of humans, not in their weapons, not in their size, but in their hearts, their minds, and their courage. The humans stood back, silent and calm. The alien rose fully, looking at them with profound gratitude. Its voice, steady now, whispered a final promise. I will never forget what you have done. Humans, you have shown me, the galaxy can be different, because of you. And as the alien walked slowly through the ruined city, its steps lighter than they had been in decades, the humans watched silently. The galaxy had shifted in that moment. Hope had returned. Compassion had triumphed. And a fragile, frail being from a ruined world had discovered the true power of humanity. For the first time in years, the alien smiled, not out of relief, not out of survival, but out of deep, unshakable awe. The galaxy had seen humanity, and it would never be the same.